All right, welcome back in, everybody. Our next guest is here with some important information about long-term care insurance and planning. Barbara Franklin is the owner of Franklin Associates. Barbara, good morning to you, and thank you so much for coming on the program. We do appreciate it. So what exactly are we talking about here today? We're talking about helping people with health insurance and care and really getting them to stay in their homes as they age.
That's right. I spent the last 24 years helping people with long-term care planning, and most people are confused about how long-term care insurance really works. It gives you a pool of money that you can draw on instead of depleting your own funds, and you can use it for the care that you and your family and doctor think is most suitable. For most people, John, that's going to be in their own home.
Exactly. You mentioned before that the segment started that aging in place is really what most people want these days when they talk to you and consult with you about this care.
Absolutely. We hear it over and over again, and there is an important aging in place movement happening around the country and here in the Low Country. But when you have a policy, it means that you have the money to pay for caregiving services, help with daily living, help with homemaking, help with chores, help with managing your medications. And some of the policies even include provisions for modifying your home and equipment that you might have to purchase.
Barbara, we've got some facts and figures up right now. Tell me about these a little bit, because that's the average cost of care annually?
Right. This is from a recent survey that was done, 2014, and these are national figures, but they're not far off for our area as well. And homemaker services, $40,000 a year, and an aide, $41,000, so it doesn't come cheap.
No, it certainly adds up quickly. So how does long-term care insurance help people stay in their home?
Well, just the services that I mentioned, daily living activities, medication management. I think one of the areas that we see is the benefit for families and caregivers. Caregiving can be very overwhelming. And for example, a woman who needs care is living with her daughter right now, and her daughter's a school teacher. So during the day, she's not available to help her mom.
Right.
So the mother's policy is paying for caregivers to come in during those hours. The daughter's there the rest of the time. This summer, the daughter needs to go to a conference for her work and to visit some family, and the mother can't travel. So the policy is providing that respite care to take the daughter's place, and it's a win-win for mother and daughter.
Absolutely, it is. So family members can definitely benefit from that, as well as just getting a break once in a while, because we all know with studies in Alzheimer's and things like that, it can run down a caregiver just as much as a patient.
Absolutely. We call that respite care, a rest for the caregiver.
That makes sense, of course. Are there other long-term care planning solutions that can help people stay in their home?
Well, John, we'd say it this way. Long-term care insurance isn't for everybody, but everybody needs a plan. You can tap into funds via a reverse mortgage, for instance, money that's tied up in your home equity. You can tap into money that might be available through life insurance policies, annuities, and other means. So I'm an advocate, we are an advocate of looking at the bigger picture, working with someone who can help you evaluate that big picture, figure out what makes sense for you.
What age would you want to start that insurance planning?
Oh, that's a good question. Most people do tie it into their retirement planning because it is one of the biggest factors that you're going to face in retirement planning, and certainly one of the biggest costs.
And people can just come with you and get a one-on-one session and really kind of find out what they need and tailor it specifically to them when they get older.
Long-term care planning and planning ahead. Waiting for the crisis doesn't help. Your options become much more limited at that point.
Absolutely. Barbara, how can people get in touch with you?
We're on in Charleston on James Island. Our phone number is 762-4260.
All right, and the website right on your screen right there. Barbara, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, John.
Some great tips right there. It's certainly an important issue. We do appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
All right, much more after the break. Make sure you stick around.